If you're watching this in the future, this is part 2 of my daily vlog for January 23rd. So you'd have to watch part 1 to know what I'm talking about for part 2. Well, that was Denise. So anyway, I read it's 15 Ways to Lose Weight by Vicki Wade. A lot of these wouldn't apply to us older people, but I kind of tweaked it a little so that it would affect us. You'll see when I'm going along. But which they said, very first line, which I've been saying all along, is restrictions in any form do not work in a weight loss program. And you have to have some sort of restrictions. I'm not saying that you can't or that you're not supposed to, but you have to do them within reason, because if you're too strict, you're just not going to stick with it. If you're like me, you're just not going to stick with it. So you need that occasional treat, not a cheat, a treat. And I got that from, she changed her channel name now. It used to be Cape Cod Woman, but I think she changed, oh, Pearls of Wisdom. She changed her channel name to Pearls of Wisdom. And she said that, and it just struck a nerve with me, because I so agreed with that. It's not a cheat. It's a cheat if you have it constantly, but it's a treat if you do it occasionally. Let's clarify that. So anyway, I laughed when I saw the very first one. Cut back on eating out. And I'm eating out today, and I'm eating out on Thursday. But I have cut back from eating out because Jim and I, we would have like carry out or go out to eat or something. In a 30-day month or a 31-day month, I would say we probably ate out at least 20 times, at least, if not more. And you don't make healthy choices when you eat out. Everybody says, well, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to order healthy. Although I am going to order healthy. I told you that. I am going to order somewhat healthy. I am going to have some spaghetti. I'm going to have my grilled chicken. I'm going to have my artichokes. And I'm just going to figure in my points and have fun. I'm with my brother and my sisters, and I'm just going to have fun. So I'm going to do that. Number 2 is stop stocking up on snacks. What you want to do is stock up on healthy snacks. And what they suggested is what I do is when I do my groceries and I buy my snacks, I do either label the package, like my pretzel rods, I label the package that I know that each pretzel rod is 1 point. My can of nuts, I have a 1/4 cup measuring cup sitting on top of the nuts, and I have it written on the top of the thing that it's 6 points for a 1/4 cup of the almonds. My cereal, I put in little baggies. I like to munch, which I haven't done in a long time, but I like to munch like on shredded wheat, and I'll put them in a little bag, and I'll eat them like a cracker or something without milk. I don't have a problem with that. I can eat cereal without milk. It doesn't really bother me. And just try to cut up your veggies and stuff. It's way cheaper to buy your own veggies and take that hour and clean them and prep them than to buy the already prepared, vegetables. A lot of times you're going to look at it and say, well, why would I want to pay that much for carrots when you can get like a whole bag of carrots way cheaper? And you just got to clean them up and put them in little baggies yourself. And if you have like, I have that Rubbermaid fridge smart thing, that you just put them in the, don't seal the baggie, put the little baggies in the things into the container, and then you just pull it out as you need it, and then seal it up as you're going, and then it's already prepared and it's staying not getting wilty. Number 3, have a heavy breakfast. My breakfasts are pretty heavy, but like Denise pointed out, they're not a breakfast, they're a brunch because I eat so late. I drink a lot of water in the morning because I think that kind of gets my functions moving, and I just feel better, and it's good for my skin. I notice that my skin's not as dry. Since I've had my cataract surgery, my eyes are dry all the time. But when I drink a lot of water, that doesn't happen. So I've correlated the two, that when I don't drink a lot of water, my eyes are even drier the next day, and then I have to put drops in them. So I try to drink a lot of water, especially in the morning when I wake up. My eyes are so dry from sleeping all night. Number 4 is to fit in exercise. even 5 minutes at a time. I know yesterday I told you you shouldn't make that part of your program, but I think that I hope you knew that I meant that at the very beginning of your program, don't, like stress about, I have to eat this, I have to exercise here, I have to sleep this, you ease into it. It just, take your time. But, like if I don't watch commercials because Jim and I tape everything and then we watch it the next day and zip through the commercials. But a lot of times during the show, I will get up and just do like leg stretches or, bring my legs up, knee to chest things, or just, kick off the side of the chair. Just do something, any little bit of exercise is better than no exercise. Quit smoking. You can't exercise and feel healthy when you're lighting up. I've never smoked. In high school, I would light up a cigarette with my friends because all my friends smoked, and which was very odd. All my friends in high school and like college smoked, drank, and did drugs, and I didn't do any of that. I had never had an interest in drinking. When I smoked, I didn't smoke. The only smoke I got is when I lit up the cigarette, and then I just like would flick the cigarette and all of that. And then I wasted a lot of money is my point, because I didn't smoke. I just didn't want to, but then, peer pressure was so great, I just didn't want to feel like such a fool. But what I did like about the fact that back when I was younger, and I don't think it's so true now, but you could go to a party and if they passed a joint around, or whatever they call it nowadays, because I'm so out of the loop, if you didn't want to take a hit off of it, you could just pass it on and you got no judgment from anybody. That was just the way it was. I don't know that that's so true today, but I'm thankful that it was back then because I had no interest in it. I really didn't. But I liked my friends. I mean, we had a good time. They didn't lead me astray. Of course, I didn't lead them to the right path either, I guess, because they did all of that. And what was bad was I worked at a fruit market, and I would ring up the Boone's Farm and the Ripple. Remember those wines? And MD-40, the Mad Dog, and all of that stuff, because we would just ring it up and we put it in the bottom of the bag and then we put chips and stuff on top and leave. I'm sure our manager kind of knew and kind of looked to the side because he wasn't that much older than us, really. I think he was maybe 10 years older than us at the time, but and I would buy it for him to buy the beer and all that. I would buy that stuff. I didn't care. But I just wouldn't partake in it. But I'd get my fair share of the money from everybody. Clean out your pantry and replace it with healthy foods. It's easy to do. It really is. If you look at all the processed foods you do have in your pantry, you'd be amazed. You really would. I very rarely eat crackers now because of the fact that they're so processed, like Ritz or Cheez-Its or anything like that. Potato chips. All of those stuff I do like, and that's not to say I'm never going to eat it, and it's not to say that I don't eat them, but I don't eat them in excess like I did before. This one, what's it called? Switch your happy hour. I can't even read my own writing. Isn't that sad? But anyway, it's to avoid happy hour, which goes back to the drinking. But I think when we're at my age, you don't really worry about going to the happy hour. But I think what they mean is, like, don't think at a certain time of day that's what you're going to have. Like happy hour is usually, I think, 4 to 6. So don't think that between like 2 and 4 you have to eat cookies or donuts or something. So switch your thought of what a happy hour is to what it really is. Number 8 is crank up the music. If you're listening to music, you're in a whole better frame of mind, and your body does kind of move because you do kind of go with the beat. And when I walk, I have music, and I time how far I'm going to get to a particular song, and like a song will start playing and I'll look ahead to see how many houses I think I'm going to walk to before that song is over, and then I pretend like I'm in the Amazing Race and I got to get to the end, only in my mind. Load up on vegetables. Well, that's a no-brainer too. Vegetables will fill you up so much more. They're not really that happy, on your plate as much as a bag of chips would be, or some cookies or chips and dip or something. But they fill you up way more than a bag of chips will. It's going to last a lot longer. Number 10 is run for 20 minutes. Well, I'm not a runner. I would love to be a runner. West Virginia running down, every time he runs, and I pretend I'm running with him, right alongside of him. We're running together. I know I'm not running with him, but I know. Especially I sent him a hat, and when he wears the hat, I'm thinking, oh, I'm on that run with him. Only in my warped mind. Drink 2 glasses of water before eating. I do drink a lot of water in the morning, and like I said, it kind of keeps me from going crazy with my eating. And during the day, I drink a lot of water because a lot of times it's just that you're thirsty. You're not hungry. You're thirsty. So you just gotta. And I drink water with my meal now. I drink water and iced tea. So before I would have like 2 cans of pop. Now I have 1 glass of iced tea and a glass of water, which is equal to the same amount of ounces of fluids that I was taking before, but it's just a healthier option. Number 12 is eat less salt. Salt's going to cause you to bloat. It's going to cause you to retain the water. Just all of that stuff. So you just gotta make sure that you don't put a lot of. I don't put salt on food. Oh, I take that back. I put salt on my eggs. But other than that, I don't really use salt. Well, you've seen me. I use seasoned salt, I guess, in Orton time. See, you know what? I do use salt. I have to cut back. Number 13 is cut out sugary drinks. I do that now. It was very hard. I told you that yesterday. It was very difficult for me. But now it doesn't seem to be a problem because I've developed a new habit, and the new habit is iced tea. Number 14 is catch more sleep because sleep reduces stress and it prevents depression. And I know that when you're depressed, you want to sleep, but you're not really sleeping to catch up on sleep. You're just trying to avoid your life when you sleep that way. And that's not what they mean. They want you to sleep to rebuild your body and to get your body rejuvenated. And sleep loss is linked to changes in your appetite and your metabolism of the glucoses in your system, which makes sense. And number 15, which I tell you all the time, don't be so hard on yourself. Please stop being so hard on yourself. Think of yourself as another person. Would you do that to another person? I get mad at myself when I go crazy on the weekends, and I'm hard on myself, and I'm really working on that, but I'm not as hard on myself as I used to be. I'm really not. And I just always think, would I do that to someone else? And I wouldn't. So I'm just as important as the next person. So those are my 15 tips. So once again, long-winded. That's just who I am. So I will see you guys at dinner. Maybe if my brother and my sisters will let me, I'll film them. Well, but better late than never.
Better late than never.
I love. Huh? That's what I'm having for dinner. Oh,
I've watched it a few times, and yes, it's hilarious. I almost died laughing. The first one where.
Okay, they didn't have an app for my restaurant that I went to, but I had half a cup of mashed potatoes with nothing on it for 3 points. A cup of the wedding soup for 6 points. My chicken breast was grilled, so it was 0. I'm not sure about the artichokes. I think that they were just made in the wine sauce, so I don't know if I should have counted them as a marinade or not, but I counted them as 0. 0 for my iced tea and water. 4 points for the little, half a cup of mustacholi they give you as a, not an entree, but like a serving thing. I wasn't sure about the wine sauce that the chicken was cooked in, so I figured it was 4 tablespoons for 4 points. And I did have a piece of bread for 2 points, so it was 19 points, so I used my 19 points. I used all my points for the day, but I have another blue dot day. Well, my chicken was delicious. I had probably a half a cup of mashed potatoes, and I had the Italian wedding soup and iced tea, 2 iced teas and 2 glasses of water. So I think I did pretty good. I didn't figure out the points because it was kind of hard, but my artichokes were delicious. I loved them. So I'll see you guys in the morning.